BBC Biz Live.
Well, lots on the programme. Let's get cracking. I tell you what, it does seem like the smart money has its eyes firmly on Africa when it comes to investment opportunity. We know Google, for example, it's ploughed millions into the continent. China, the United States kind of falling over each other to lay their stake. And now the heads of state from 10 African countries, I mentioned, from Malawi to Mauritius, from Uganda to Ghana, they're here in London to present their country's most bankable projects to investors. It's called the Global African Investment Summit. Some $7 billion of investment is up for grabs. Take a look at some of this stuff. You know, Africa enjoyed a 65% increase in new money, new capital investment in 2014, with foreign direct investment actually coming in at an estimated $87 billion. Now, we know this, we talk about it a lot. A lot has been made of Chinese investment in the continent. As you can see here, though, in fact, they just barely make it into the top 4. France at 18 billion, topping the list. Greece, I don't know where Greece gets that money from, but Greece, number 2 on the list. And of course, despite the recent instability in the country of Egypt, Egypt is still number 1 destination, closely followed by Angola and of course Nigeria at 11 billion, not far behind. As you might expect, a lot of that money that's going into the oil and gas sectors, but investment in real estate, communication, infrastructure, technology, also on the rise. Ben.
Aaron, thanks very much. Well, Ivor Ichikowitz is the chairman and founder of Paramount Group. It is the largest privately owned defence and aerospace business in Africa. Welcome to Business Live. Nice to see you. Aaron breaking down some of the numbers there, but what I'd like to start with is if you can give us an idea and break down Africa for us, because there is still that awful tendency for many investors, many people to think of Africa as a country. It's a continent made up of so many different countries, so many different opportunities.
54 different countries, every single one different, everyone with different mentality, different mindset, different opportunities, and different people and different energy. It's an incredibly alive, energetic continent with huge opportunities, and the West tends to see it as one country. It's such a mistake.
What are the different opportunities? I mean, if you look at something on the scale of the continent, there are so many different countries, as you point out, so many different natural resources, so many different populations, so many different economies. How do you even know as an investor where are those opportunities?
Part of the problem with Africa is it is so huge, and there's so many relationships that you have to develop to access opportunities, that people do think of the continent as a homogenous mass, and therefore they see places like South Africa or Egypt or Morocco as the access points to the rest of Africa. The opportunities are in every single sector. We today have one of the biggest growing populations in the world, more than 1 billion people. 50% of which are under the age of 25. Can you imagine where that is going to go in the next 10 years? And investors today need to look at Africa not for what it is today, but for what it's going to become in the next 10 years. Yeah. And I think that the investment opportunities are in consumer goods, they're in luxury goods, they're in real estate, telecommunications. Where they're not today is in extractive industries, because I think the extractive industries have been done. And now we need to focus on industrialization, creating jobs.
You just took the word out of my mouth. That is one of the issues, right? You've got to create jobs in that continent with all the people, the number of people you just mentioned. And a big part of that would be, what, to invest in manufacturing?
To invest in industrialization, to take our natural resources to the next level and ultimately to finished product. But this is not always in the interest of our major investors, because they want our raw materials so that they can feed their industries abroad. What we need is partnerships between African investors, foreign investors, to create industrial opportunities in Africa so that we can create finished products and access the rest of the world while we give those partners access to our markets as well.
A quick word on security, because many investors you would talk to say the deterrent is the fact that so much is having to be invested in security across Africa to make sure that assets are safe, that they're kept in private hands. Is that enough? Is that still the case when it comes to investment?
This is the biggest issue. It's one of my own personal obsessions, and most of my career has been invested in creating a large aerospace and defence company, which is today investing all over the world, out of Africa. But our biggest focus has been to help governments to create institutions of security so that they can protect the assets that foreign investors are investing in, and to encourage Africans to invest in their own economies and to invest in assets that their governments can protect and they can feel comfortable in. It's the biggest and most important issue, and the world needs to embrace that. It's the absolute key for us.
Okay, Ivor, really good to talk to you. I know you're at that summit later today, so we'll speak again soon, but for now, thanks very much.
Good luck with it, too. Good luck with it. Good luck with it. Okay.